Ta-da! We realise that you can hear us, hence the Home Alone and the...
Technically, we can't hear you.
You're not wrong.
I'm never wrong, but I'm often incorrect.
I hate it when you say that because it makes no sense. Deary, deary me. Hello. Hello and welcome to Admit 1. I was about to say Christmassy episode, but the only decorations are off camera.
No. I won't decorate the set until December.
That's acceptable.
The house gets decorated early, but I admit,
June.
Yeah, yes. But I do refuse to decorate the channel prior December.
That's fair. I would do it on the 24th when we're not here. And then take it down on the 26th.
But no one likes you. So
That's true. That's true. It's probably our subscriber problem. But anyway, we are here. Will you piss off? We are here to talk about a movie. About a big green guy who markets sweet corn.
Green Giant. Took me a second to put that together. Have we ever done a show where we've got nipples on our backdrop before?
No, I don't think so. Especially, but in particular, green ones. Green nipples. Deary me.
Totally worth it.
Deary me. We are here to talk about The Incredible Hulk, of course, along our MCU journey. Released on the 13th of June, 2008, 3 days after my 15th birthday.
Wow.
Also known as Inanimous Hulk. Don't know why.
Dyslexic Hulk? Is that what you mean?
Oh, it's just giving me the titles in all the different languages. Woody Howkey. That's the China mainland
I don't
title.
think we need to.
No, I'm not going to go through all of them. There's a lot.
There's a lot of languages, I'm sure, yeah.
That's too many. Why list the ones that they're the same?
The Incredible Hulk, also known as The Incredible Hulk.
So we've got here the UAE, The Incredible Hulk, which is bizarre because they don't speak... Well, they do speak English, but that's not their native language,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. United Kingdom, The Incredible Hulk. United States working title, Hulk 2. Why was it known as Hulk 2? Anyway, the United States, The Incredible Hulk. What ridiculous. Hulk El Hombre Incredible.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
I like that as well. I like languages that put things in a different order just to spice things up.
I'm on board.
Because then you also go like, how do you put a sentence together? Fuck no. Like it's
Nose fuck.
indeed
Don't do a nose fuck.
with a budget of 150 million US dollars.
Imagine the sneeze. Ooh.
You're revolting. With a worldwide gross of, which is you right now, of $264,770,996. The movie didn't do that well.
Many monies though, innit? I wouldn't mind that.
Yes, I know, but for a film to be considered a success,
For sure, I know, but I'm just saying, if we made something that made that much money, I'd be the happiest man on the planet.
I'd be pretty happy. Not if I had to spend $150 million on it first,
Fair point, well made.
because that means it would never have been made.
Yeah. Like many of our things.
Yeah, that's true.
We have a project that's going to cost about £10, so we've not made it.
That's more than that.
Yeah, no.
Imagine what we could do with it if we had $150 million, though.
Imagine what we could do if we had £150.
That's true. That's true. So this is easily the lowest grossing MCU movie.
A lot of people just kind of don't include this as an MCU movie.
Including Disney
Including
Plus. However, there are things from this showing up in the MCU again, particularly with Blonsky, and you can see how She-Hulk completely fucked that character into the ground. For laughs.
Like it wasn't even the same character.
No, it was just the same actor. And ridiculous. But also we've got Samuel Stearns, or Mr. Blue, coming back into the next Captain America movie as well.
Katie just says there, my expectations of the film were very low. It was nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. See,
I don't think this is a bad movie.
No, I think it is a bad MCU movie.
Yes.
Which and it doesn't feel like an MCU movie, which is,
I think that's fair because they hadn't figured out what
Yeah,
an MCU
it is only the
movie
second
was
one.
yet. And it only came out a month after the first, so Iron Man hadn't even come out yet.
by the
before.
time that this was well in production and probably almost done.
Well, it was a month later, so
Yeah.
it was very done.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
it would have been completely and utterly done, especially
Yeah.
2008.
And I
keep going
think
back
they
and do
kind
reshoots.
of clearly went for a they tried to play this one with a very different feel to what Iron Man was.
I think phase one is that. I think
Yes.
every single movie is a different feel. They went for the throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yes, and probably is just to see what works.
And it was the Iron Man tone. Obviously, we've got Iron Man and Iron Man 2, so they're similar. But I would say Avengers leans far more into Iron Man's tone than it does any of the others. And then it went from there.
Yeah.
There are still movies that obviously stuck to their own tone, like Captain America, all of those movies.
Which, to a degree, and all of them kind of develop over those movies, which we'll talk about over the coming 30 weeks.
It depends. It might be more than that, because by the time we get there, there'll be more than 30. So whether or not we want to loop them back round again, even though it won't have been as long,
We'll see.
we'll definitely see.
This one, the film, I couldn't remember this film at all. I watched it once around when it came out.
People I could remember it.
I'd watched it once around where it came out, and then very much just kind of ejected it from my memory. And
I've always included it in my MCU.
See, I've
rewatches.
never ever rewatched it, so I didn't really remember it. There are many things I'll get into with it, but like, I just totally I'd completely forgotten that the tone of this is almost just like a late 90s, early noughties action thriller movie. It felt very
it is,
Bourne. Like in its kind of style and whatnot, and it was like,
Well,
this
even in
feels
its
just
premise,
weird.
this guy on the run from the government. Even in its premise, it's very Bourne.
The way they dealt with all his kind of like, his chase sequence running through the Vavetta and stuff like that, the way all that was shot and choreographed was very.
I thought a lot of it was very good. Yeah.
It was good for what, like, none of it was particularly bad. It was just this weird. It didn't feel like a superhero movie, which kind of what just made it like, and some of it kind of a bit. Almost a bit cliche, for lack of a better term. Generic, maybe, is probably the better term. Like, there wasn't anything particularly outstanding that happened in any of those sequences. It was all just kind of like, yep, these are fine action sequences.
There are a couple of
chase
sequences I really liked. I just want to address Hannah's comment. She puts throw shit at the wall. Very much seems to be the Phase 4 plan too. The only reason I disagree is because it doesn't seem like they want to know what sticks and adjust from there. They just seem to be, we've expanded this universe, we make whatever we want now, and that's coming back to bite them, I think.
I think they'll stop that soon.
I think they will as well. If you actually look at the projects going forward, it kind of seems like they've
They
got
are.
nowhere to go.
Yeah.
With that thing, other than like things like Agatha could go a very weird way. I don't know why they're making that. That's one of those ones where that wasn't a plan. That was purely based on the reception, not so necessarily to a character, to a song in a show. Which insanity, but everything else, it seems like they've landed again now, which fingers fucking crossed they have. The next thing, obviously, we have is Ant-Man, so we'll see on that.
I hope that I enjoy that. I hope I enjoy Black Panther tomorrow. I mean, I think Black Panther for me is going to be very much kind of like, Black Panther is not my favorite MCU movie.
No, not even close.
So, like, it's why I'm really like kind of unfazed about its existence, because I'm almost falling out of love with the franchise because of the previous stuff,
And it's not your favorite.
and it's not, so it's just kind of like,
I
don't
will
know if I can
say,
be bothered.
in my
Ant-Man,
personal
I want
opinion-
to be good.
Oh yeah. For my personal opinion, it was because I've always said Black Panther wasn't a good movie; it was an important movie.
Yes, and I totally agree.
No denying that it was an incredibly important movie and that it can be important to people and they can love it for that. That's absolutely fine. And it's not a bad movie either.
It's not a bad movie.
Far from it. I just don't think it's great, especially when compared to other MCU movies.
To me, it's mid to low tier.
It's mid to low tier Marvel movie. Wakanda Forever
Jack, you're speaking to my soul.
is
Let me bend over.
significantly better.
Good. Okay.
It's my favourite Phase 4 movie.
Oh wow. Okay.
We'll get into that on Tuesday because I actually have reasons as to why. Like I can pinpoint the reasons as to why it's my favorite. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Wakanda Forever. That's on Tuesday.
I can pinpoint my least favorite thing about
This movie?
yeah.
Edward Norton.
No,
Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler.
Yeah. Liv Tyler can't act full
No,
stop.
just oh my god.
She was awful in this, and I don't think I've ever seen... Oh, no, Armageddon.
Armageddon, yeah.
Have I seen Armageddon? Is she in Lord of the Rings? Have I made that up?
I think she plays a role in one of the Lord of the Rings things at some point. I don't remember her
I
being
don't like
of any
Lord of the Rings,
importance.
so it's been repressed. But
Armageddon, no, you see, I like Armageddon.
I don't remember a second of that movie.
What? See, I like memories of Armageddon because Armageddon was kind of like mine and Camilla's like first film.
Mm-hmm.
That was like our first thing we watched together.
I'm assuming not in the cinema.
No,
No, I was
no.
gonna say.
It was just like one of our first like home date night things,
Yeah.
and we sat and watched Armageddon. So that's just kind of like a memory thing. The film is likely tripe, but I have a positive memory in that sense.
And she was good in the Aerosmith video. Is that because she didn't speak?
Yes, I'm pretty sure in the Aerosmith video, isn't it just clips from Armageddon?
I thought it was. But she might be in it as well.
Yeah, maybe.
She is obviously his daughter, so it would be...
Rich says, I don't want to close my eyes, I'll fall asleep. That's a very different version of my wedding dance, isn't it?
Second worst thing about this movie, though, is Ed Norton.
Yeah.
But what's Liv Tyler expected?
Oh, it's just the way everything she says.
It's whispered.
Yeah.
She,
Why can't we
Please
just
tell me.
Why can't we just stay here? Why can't I use my credit cards? Why can't I? Oh,
Can I have my lip gloss?
why are you talking like that?
Speak! Stop whispering at me.
Hannah says no. There's an Aerosmith video of her and Alicia Silverstone. Oh, okay, interesting.
Is it for Eat the Rich? That's the only non-main Aerosmith song I can think of. I know it's not the video for Walk This Way. Wait, it's Walk This Way by Run...
Run DMC and Aerosmith, yeah.
Yeah. But whose is it? Is it Aerosmith featuring Run DMC or is it Run DMC featuring Aerosmith?
Let's find out.
Because Love Tyler is pitiful in this. Ooh.
Walk this way.
Talk this way.
Run DMC featuring Aerosmith.
Oh. Well, it's a banger. Have you ever heard the Walk This Way without Run DMC?
No.
Not good. And then didn't one of those girl bands cover it a few years later, and they should have
Probably.
been imprisoned because it was the most heinous thing I've ever heard in my life. Other than Liv Tyler's whisper talk.
Aerosmith have some bangers, actually, to be fair.
Aerosmith have some absolute bangers. Yeah, of course they do.
Love in an Elevator. I love
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah, Eat the Rich is a really good one. I don't just bring it up for no reason. Walk This Way.
I really
You've
like...
got the classics. They are classics for a reason. Dream On.
Oh, yeah. Do Look Like a Lady.
Mm-hmm. Do Look Like a Lady is a banger.
And I really like Sweet Emotion. I think that's a really nice song.
Can't say I know which one that is. I probably recognise it if I heard it, but I don't know off the top of my head. But anyway, the reason it was really weird and standoffish that it was probably Sugar Babes, I don't know. Ed Norton was really bad in this movie is because Ed Norton, unlike Liv Tyler, can act.
Yeah, so it clashed. I actually just don't think, though, I don't think Ed Norton actually is the problem, or the biggest problem of it. I think it's the characterization they've written for Banner
Well, yes.
as well. Like, he's supposed to be this genius scientist dude, and he doesn't...
What do you mean? He fixed a button.
But he doesn't really do anything in the slightest bit genius or science.
That's because he's on the run. Like,
for sure, but like he doesn't even... Like, there isn't really a moment where you just have like his crazy superior intelligence coming through. There's other people's intelligence being used, but there's never him. And like what I like about the continuation of like Ruffalo's Hulk, and that it's, you know, a lot of that focus is on Banner, and actually turning Banner into an interesting character is focused on the fact that he is incredibly intelligent, and that's the interest of that character and that conflict of that intelligence, and both like emotional intelligence and academic intelligence, and mixing that of everything else. This didn't really play on any form of any of that. So it was just kind of like, it meant that Norton as Banner was not the interesting bit of the Hulk banner character.
Yeah.
The Hulk was then the interesting bit, and even then was quite a tame Hulk.
Yeah. No. So as I know quite a bit about the behind the scenes on this movie, thanks to my Story of Marvel Studios book.
Oh yeah.
21,000 views on Instagram. Thank you. The most viewed thing we've ever done, and it's a video of a book on Instagram. Not even related to Rabbit Hole at all. I hate my life. But they were talking about that, and Ed Norton is a problem man.
Oh right. Okay.
He's too big for his britches, and as Hannah said, likes to rewrite and take control, which is why he was removed.
Good.
But yeah, they had never had any intention of bringing him back after this, and it was one of those negotiation things where they kind of pretend to negotiate a little bit, knowing that
they're not going to agree on anything.
We're not going to agree on anything. You're not going to agree on anything because, like, imagine Ed Norton in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It's like imagining Terrence Howard later on. I bet they're both kicking themselves.
Oh, Terrence Howard, absolutely, almost certainly. Because Terrence Howard wasn't bad in the first film.
No, not at all.
Terrence Howard was just then a problem later.
And
so he's absolutely kicking himself.
Oh yeah, just like if I had just
taken the
had
paycheck,
regular-sized boots, then I would be making millions upon millions right now. And the whole problem with that was Robert Downey Jr. got more money for Iron Man 2, and they wouldn't offer Terrence Howard anywhere near as much.
What, you mean the lead actor?
Yeah. This is the whole problem with...
I hate it. It does me nuts all the time.
Oh my God, the whole pay gap in movies and stuff like that. What was it? I think it was something like Jennifer Lawrence didn't get paid as much as James McAvoy in the X-Men movies.
Oh, yeah.
That's because you are a side character and he is the lead character.
He has substantially more screen time than you.
And if anything, you are the more famous one.
Yeah.
So you, like, if you were the lead character, you would have probably gotten more than James McAvoy got for being the lead character. But that shit happens all the time. It's insane. Not to say that there aren't problems in the world.
And there is pay gap issues in the industry.
100%.
There is. That's not it, though.
No. That's why the problem never goes anywhere, because people can't recognise the problem.
Apparently the director wanted Ruffalo and Marvel were the ones who said no. Interesting.
Yes. I had forgotten that.
And then came round to him later. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was... I think it was one of those because they weren't in the hiring unknown stage at that point. They were hiring Downey because they didn't want Downey either.
Right. That would have been an error.
That would have been...
I don't think it would have happened.
No, neither do I.
Because the success of Iron Man is what... Because this film wasn't a success in the grand scheme of things. No. Iron Man was. It was the success of Iron Man that meant the MCU has sprung and sprouted in the way it has. So if they didn't have Downey Jr., I don't think that would... I
understand why they didn't want Downey. It was never to do with his talent. It was more to do with the fact that he was just out of prison.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I understand that people get...
I get it, but also, was it prison or rehab? I know he's been to both. I can't remember which one he was just like a few years prior had come out. I can't remember. But also, I kind of hate that reason because the whole point of both of those places is to rehabilitate.
Yes, yeah.
To get you back into the world. So I've always hated that as a reason. It's like you've been to prison, therefore you can't have a job. What's the whole point of prison? Mm-hmm. They should make that illegal. But anyway, it probably is, to be fair. But people just do it anyway. But anyway, yeah, God, imagine if they hadn't fucking hired Robert Downey Jr.
It'd be totally different. I'm glad they resolved the Norton thing, but I don't think...
I think Ruffalo is excellent.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that Ed Norton's performance in this any point was particularly bad so much as the characterization that he had to go with and that he was opting for wasn't the right choice more than anything.
For sure, and then even within that characterization, he probably wasn't the right actor for it. I reckon Ruffalo would have done better.
Yeah, I do as well.
With that particular character.
I also do not like... I wouldn't say I don't like... So I think the other problem is that this film sort of highlights is that it's probably really fucking hard to actually do an interesting Hulk solo movie.
I agree.
Because there's not much story to tell, really. The story's either going to have... Like, because the way the Hulk's character is, your story needs to really be about Banner more than the Hulk. Because you can't do much with the Hulk beyond him having to become humanized. And I feel like...
And that's what's ruined the Hulk.
Yeah, that's what's ruined the Hulk by this, because they've gone too far with it. I think they had the right blend of it in the middle of the Avengers stuff. Just the right blend of he was able to switch.
From the first Avengers to Ragnarok, I think.
Yeah.
I think they had it nailed.
Mm-hmm.
And then they took it too far.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, even Infinity War as well, because that was just a...
Considering that this is... Rich says there's more interesting Hulk stuff later on Planet Hulk and World War
Well,
Hulk.
I was going to get into stuff like that when Chris finished his point.
So, but even with this film, what it starts doing is just he's a big Hulk and he's uncontrollable, but very quickly. The first time you really see him properly is him protecting Liv Tyler and just going, so actually he's got some sort of control and understanding really early on, which then for me, in a strange way, made some of the progression we get with Ruffalo's Hulk feel a little bit like, we kind of already had that, though, in this one.
Well, he had it from the beginning.
Yeah, he does, but it's just...
I'm saying Ruffalo had it from the beginning.
Yeah. He has control, to a degree, like...
He recognises who people are and things, and that's all that was.
Well, yeah, I suppose. They do that fight with him and Thor, but... I guess
But that's because... So, I think... There are two types of Hulk, I think.
Yeah.
And he hadn't really met Thor at that point.
Yeah.
To be fair. He hadn't really met any of them. He'd only just met them a few hours prior. And also, there is a Hulk that can be triggered by stress and anger.
Yeah.
And then there is a Hulk that
can...
he lets out. I think they're slightly different.
Yeah.
I think that's the
fair.
point of them. And to be fair, because the only other time we see that is in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
When Wanda messes with his head. But anyway, I was going into terms of interesting... Hulk stuff that you like solo Hulk stuff that you can do. There are a whole loads of rights issues, but you also need a world that has been set up before you can start doing it. Like Planet Hulk, for example, is essentially what we get of Ragnarok. That is Planet Hulk. He goes to a different planet, becomes a gladiator, rises up the ranks and takes over this planet essentially. Has his son, which we've now seen. But he didn't leave, he was removed. So you kind of cut that part out. And then World War Hulk is when something destroys his planet and kills his family and what have you. So he comes back to Earth and just fucks everyone up. That is World War Hulk. There's also the Immortal Hulk. I'm pretty sure it's the Immortal Hulk. Which is really interesting because Bruce Banner's dead, but the Hulk isn't.
Right, okay.
So there's that weird thing of there is just a dead guy in his body.
I see.
And it's that interesting, weird thing. Written by, pretty sure it's written by Donny Cates, who is one of my favourite comic writers. I guarantee I'm going to try and open Marvel Unlimited to see if I'm correct, and it's going to tell me to log in. Get fucked, Marvel Unlimited. Sort your app out. That's like almost daily it forgets who I am. And do you know what I forget almost daily? My fucking password. And that's your fault as well. What's the origin of Red Hulk? He's red. No, Red Hulk isn't Bruce Banner. Red Hulk is General Ross. So he often has a mustache, which is very funny. Oh. General Ross. So that's Harrison Ford now.
Yeah, I was going to say, has that been confirmed, the Harrison Ford thing, or is it?
Confirmed. Which I hate the hypocrisy of it, to be perfectly honest. Because they were on a whole thing of, which kind of shows that not casting Chadwick, recasting T'Challa was a press move.
Oh, yeah.
More than a moral standing move, because more than happy to recast.
Yeah, and they could
with an actor who's nothing like him, by the way.
Yeah, and given who that character, although he's been in a few films, is a bit part. Mm-hmm. You could easily write him out. There are many.
Just make him someone else.
Yeah, because there are many different people. Or you could probably bring in Wu. or someone to be like in that role.
Well, no, it's because
instead,
I
or-
think they want Red Hulk. I think Red Hulk
Right.
is going to be an important thing because he's coming back in the Thunderbolts, which is
Right,
kind of like
okay.
a Suicide Squad, a team of half villainy people. Which I don't like the fact that the Winter Soldier's in it.
Didn't know that.
The Winter Soldier and Yelena are in it.
I remember the Yanas. Yeah, I didn't.
I
Realize.
don't really like that. To be
I'll-
fair.
I will wait and see.
Oh yeah, the film might be great, and therefore I'll become unbothered. But yeah, the fact that it's, especially when it's like John Walker is in it or shit in America. But yeah, it's just it's meant to be a like a almost like Suicide Squad without the bombs in their heads, and then Winter Soldier's there, and I'm just like, you're not really a villain anymore. You've got your mind back, and you haven't done any bad stuff since.
It's probably that society sees him as a villain still, though.
Would they?
Well, not society so much as whatever the agency is that. Because it's not Shield. Whoever the agency is that hates them all.
Well, it's just Val is. Who does Val work for? Did they ever say who Val worked for?
Not yet, I don't think.
Anyway.
I mean, Yelena isn't really a villain.
No, she's not, but that's why I brought up Yelena as well. I think those two are a bit weird.
Maybe it'll make sense.
It might be, it could very well do. It's just, it's going to be they have governmental ties.
Yeah.
It would be what they're going for as opposed to villains, I imagine.
For sure, for sure. I will say, though, that at the end of the day, I will be scoring this film 10 out of 10 because Ty Burrell's in it.
I was going to bring up Phil Dunphy, yeah. Yeah, I'm very sad that he didn't get enough screen time and he wasn't allowed to be very Phil Dunphy.
No. Literally, his name came up on the pre-title rolls and I just went, Phil Dunphy's in it!
Yeah, he's a criminally low amount of screen time.
In everything. He's great. But at the same time, I can't take him seriously when he's got a more serious role.
No, neither can I.
Like, just
because he's
not
been
in
ingrained.
any-
11 years of Phil Dunphy has kind of done my head in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. But Ty Burrell has always and will always be the same age. Yeah, I can see it.
He doesn't look very different.
No.
Very different. And that's either an insult or a compliment. Either you look very young now or you looked very old 20
I think
years
he's
ago.
he's always looked middle-aged.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. You're probably right. He was born middle-aged.
Yeah. Also, he doesn't do anything of interest in this. I like Phil Dunphy, therefore 10 out of 10.
No, I agree. Everything with Ty Burrell is, oh my God, Modern Family. Can we just do a weekly watch every episode of Modern Family?
Just done that.
The episode, I don't give a shit. Do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you really going to complain about 20 minutes of watching Modern Family a week? He was never a child like Manny. He has eternally been middle-aged.
Oh, I see what you're going for. Yeah.
Manny Delgado. He was one of those people, he's still a child. Have you seen him now?
Yeah.
He's still a child. It's just someone has stuck facial hair on him.
Is the weird thing that stand-up comedian in America that looks just like him. They brought him in to play his fake dad.
Enrique Iglesias. I can be a little bit. What's...
They bring him in for an episode of
Yeah.
to be his fake dad, and it's like, I remember going, that's weird. That's proper weird because they look the same.
Oh, what's his fucking name? He's got a Netflix special. I'm going to try and find it.
Please hold whilst Jack does research on the internet. Not that type of research. Sick fuck. Oh, it is. It is that type of research. I was wrong. Sorry.
Gabriel Iglesias.
That's the guy.
The Iglesias was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
close. Gabriel Iglesias. Yeah, he's very funny. as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
No, he's very funny. But no, the two scenes I really liked in this are kind of the obvious ones. I think they're the warehouse, the first time he hulks out, and then the uni campus fight with the cannons.
Yes.
Yeah, those are the two ones. The final fight is whatever. It's the same problem with
yes.
Iron Man.
It's fighting
you're just
yourself
fighting
now.
yourself, yeah. Except this one's slightly taller. That was the same with Iron Man as well. You're fighting yourself, but this one's slightly taller. Is that the same?
Tim Roth in this as well was weird to me because
completely different to She-Hulk Tim Roth.
Yeah, there's that. I think Tim Roth's character in this and Tim Roth was good as well. And I liked it. It kind of little hint towards Captain America, talking about super soldier serum and stuff like that. Okay, cool, nice, great. I like it. But yeah, it's just when he went to what was it? Sorry, I can't remember what it said. Oh, the guy, he like takes a guy and he's like, I want you to give me the stuff, and he's like, well, you've already had something. Like, I don't know what would happen. You could be an abomination and stuff. Oh, fuck off. I hate those kind of fucking lines. Fuck off.
They did one with the Hulk as well, but what really... And, like, it doesn't make sense that now he's called the Abomination because no one other than him heard that. But also there was on the news after the uni thing, some kind of big Hulk.
Yeah.
And then, so on the news they start calling him Hulk. I was like, that makes sense. He calls himself Hulk.
Yeah.
Later in the movie, Hulk smash.
Yeah. And also, like, weird... 'cause it does make sense. That guy going, oh, it's just kind of like a big Hulk. It's weird in a way.
When have you ever heard the word Hulk?
Yeah, it's like,
that's
in
not
reality,
referring to him.
I only know the word Hulk in reference to the Hulk. Like, and then, obviously it's not. The word Hulk exists prior to that. This is something is big and hulking. That's what it is. A big Hulk of something. That is a word that exists.
But in reality, I think people tend to use bulk more.
Yeah. Or if they do, they use it because they're specifically making a comparison to the Hulk. Mm-hmm. So it was weird in this world, in this universe, that someone said on the TV Hulk in passing. And I kind of didn't buy it because it's not the reality I know. It's like, no one says that. Like, it was just strange. It was a weird way. And again, one of those things, kind of like it's almost a Han Solo problem. We don't need to see the origin of the name like this. It's just not necessary.
But I also don't know if it was intended to be the origin of the name, because then how did he hear it?
Yeah.
Like not Bruce Banner. How did Hulk hear it? And
the Hulk smash also felt like there wasn't a setup for it.
No, it was the first. Oh no, it's not the first time he spoke in the film. He spoke in the warehouse as well. He said, "Leave me alone" in the warehouse, but it was kind of like all in the background. And all.
But there's not really a setup to that moment. There are like. Hulk smash, obviously a thing in the comics and a thing in Hulk media. Fine, I get it. But like the Avengers' use of it is really good. It's a good joke. Mm-hmm. You know, Captain America's like, you do this, you do that, you do that, and Hulk smash. Cool, great, good pun. So then when Hulk then says Hulk smash in it, after that, it's like a setup and a payoff, as almost that like he's saying Hulk smash because Steve Rogers told him to Hulk smash. So that's why he's saying it. In this, it was like, why would he say Hulk smash? Like, it's odd. Like, there's no setup for it.
I don't think he says Hulk smash in Avengers, does he?
I don't remember.
I don't think he does. I know Captain America says it to him, but I don't really know. Rich says, love the Lou Ferrigno bit. Something that I only caught today as well, at the very beginning when he's flicking through the TV, and he decides on Portuguese Sesame Street, as you do. The movie he flicks past where the kid punches that guy in the face is the original David Banner TV show. So it's a different movie with him in it. I've just checked on IMDb to see if that was true. It is. I only noticed that today.
Well, fuck me.
Because that's when I watched it, not because I randomly got about halfway through and then they turned the power off at home.
Oh.
It was very annoying. I was just like...
What a bunch of fucks.
Exactly. And then they turned it back on. Great story.
Yeah. Nice, Jack. Great. I opened the fridge earlier, then I closed it again.
It wasn't that immediate unless you just left your fridge open for about an hour.
Sometimes I do.
That's bad. You shouldn't do that.
I can't do that because it starts screaming at you after about 12 seconds of having the fridge door open.
A Hulk should totally be the name for a hunk with a dad bod. What kind of fathers are you seeing? That is not a dad bod.
I've also just had the realization that could you imagine Edward Norton as Smart Hulk and how ridiculous he'd look?
Speaking of, but no. Speaking of, another thing I don't really like about this is they made zero effort to make the Hulk look like Edward Norton.
Yeah.
His hair magically grew. I don't know why that's the thing I'm picking out, considering his entire body and muscles grow. And do they go green? Really? Is he green in this movie? Because I've always found that subject to questioning.
Ish. Yeah,
He's
there's a
greenish.
bit. There's a bit at the end when they go like
The green one,
Yeah.
damn it! I'm like, they are just as green.
They're
as
both
each other.
green. They're both pretty green.
I would. You can make the argument they're both green. You can make the argument that neither of them are green.
Yeah.
So at that point, if I was the soldier on the gun, I would have shot General Ross.
Yeah, it's like you've not narrowed it down, mate. I don't. Which one?
The green one. I'll shoot Kermit.
The first one or the one that we made? Which one?
They both.
But that's also the one with hair.
Oh yes. The one,
The
with
one
hair.
in trousers still.
Yeah, the abomination does not procreate. Clearly. But I don't like the look of Hulk in this one. He's too lean. He doesn't have any meat on him. It's entirely
Agree.
muscle and like super veiny, and the skin's really thin, and there's a weird design for the Hulk, and they didn't put any consideration into making it look like Edward Norton, whereas the Hulk actually looks like Mark Ruffalo.
Even in the because it's he's developed a bit over the course of the films, but even the first Avengers,
He looks like Mark
Mark
You
Ruffalo.
can
Yeah.
tell it came from Mark Ruffalo. He looks
Yeah.
more and more like Mark Ruffalo as time goes and technology.
Yeah,
comes
and a lot of
forward,
that also comes down to because they're now doing facial capture for him,
Yeah.
and then that's easier to map it onto a face that's more like the original. So
Yeah, exactly. So
his pecs look like watermelons. They do,
they kind of do, yeah, just with nipples.
and they probably are red on the inside.
And he bleeds green.
He does bleed green. Yeah, you're right. I've just realised that. Well, I'm an idiot.
He rips out Abomination's elbow bone.
He does, yeah.
Ooh! So that's the one bit I'm just like, ugh, that's nasty shit. Fucking hell. Like, that would be really annoying, to be fair. Just having this. Not that I could imagine Abomination sitting around just doing this. Oh, I can in She-Hulk because he's a
Yeah.
fucking ass. He sucks! But anyway.
Do you want to score this?
Yeah, I would... What did we give Iron Man?
We gave Iron Man an 8.
Okay. So it's obviously not that. Because we're going to have to base these ratings off of the other movies we've rated as well. Otherwise, we're going to make ourselves look like idiots.
Yeah, I'm deliberately keeping track.
I imagine there will be a moment where we score a movie lower but rank it higher.
Yeah, I think that will
I
happen.
think that will happen.
Because I think the ranking and the scoring are kind of two different things.
I agree. Even though they're both entirely subjective.
Yes.
Yes.
But they're subjective in different ways.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I would say...
But we understand that. You
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
are
yeah.
on the same... We're intelligent.
Yes,
So we get
yes.
this.
We can have context.
Yes.
Which is... The lack of that aforementioned thing is the cause of 99% of the world's problems.
Agreed.
And why humans should be eradicated.
I agree with this as well, yeah.
I think all humans should be eradicated. Sorry. But all humans should be eradicated and just give the world to the Labradors. It'll be fine.
Oh, that does sound like a better planet.
It does. It does. Not much will get done, but that's the beauty of it. Not
The
much
Labradors,
needs to be
what
done.
needs to be done?
Not much needs to be done. Anyway, rating this movie. We don't have a 0.5s. Is 6 too low?
6 is where I was thinking.
Oh, well, 6 it is then, because that's clearly where I first went. That's where you've gone.
Yeah, well,
so.
because I might, like, if I had to sum up the film, it's fine.
It is fine, yeah.
Which is why we're going to give
There are
this...
some things that I think bump it above fine, and there are some things that I think drag it below fine.
Yeah, but not high enough to be pretty solid.
For sure, yeah, but that's what I was saying. So it kind of evens out.
Yeah.
Because I think overall it's fine. Because most of it is fine, but that's solid 6. Then I think a couple of those action scenes bump it probably up to, like, on their own, they're pretty solid.
Yeah.
But then Liv Tyler. Liv Tyler and the
Other issues we mentioned.
other issues. 6. I do have a Pokemon shirt on because I'm a nerd.
And
Fancy.
just for the sake, because I made this, where should we put it on this list?
30th. No lie, I do genuinely believe that's where it'll end up.
All right. Shall I put it there for a joke next week?
No, because we might have to move it.
No.
No, that's an extra. Oh, but then
We won't have to move it for some time.
that is true.
Oh, Hannah would have put it as a 5.
But then, if we put it at 2, it's gonna have to be moved on a
You have to
weekly
keep
basis.
moving it, yeah. So I just whack it at 30.
I think it might be 30.
I'm just gonna whack it at 30.
I think it could be 30. We're not doing the TV shows because She-Hulk would be 30
Yeah.
without a shadow of a fucking
Well, no,
doubt.
if we're doing TV show, She-Hulk will be like 38.
Well, that's true. Yeah. It'll be last, is what I mean.
This is at 30.
There is only other one contender, I think, for 30.
Are we on the same page with Thor: Dark World?
Yeah. There's only other one contender. I think Dark World is a bit better.
Yeah, I don't think Dark World is worse than this.
And Guardians 2.
I see, we're going to end up fighting when we get to that film.
I don't think it's anywhere near 30. Don't worry. I don't like it that much, but I don't think it's anywhere near 30. So there we go. The Incredible Hulk is probably going to be at 30, so we're going to put it at 30 because we're comedians, damn it!
Calling us comedians is strong.
Fine, we're funny.
There you go, that's better.
Coming up on the channel, we actually have an episode of Press Start this week where we'll be talking about some things. I don't know what. We'll be overall general impressions of our time so far.
I think it's pretty much going to be just talking about God of War because I don't know what else there is worth talking about.
More delusional than anything. More go fuck yourself than anything. That's how I stand. That's how I stand. Mainly, we'll have a quick look, see if there's anything worth talking about, but mainly our
Spoiler-free.
Spoiler-free, because we haven't finished it yet. Chris is way further ahead than I am. But our general impressions of God of War Ragnarok should be an interesting conversation.
I've got a lot to say. I know you've really got a lot to say. You said to me in a text you don't have much to say, but you haven't said anything on air. So I think you'll probably have a lot to say. And I think
Possibly. Who knows?
We might fight. But we also might not.
I don't think we'll fight. From the preliminary conversation we had.
Yeah, that's true,
I
actually.
think we're pretty much on the same page. Me just a little bit more sour than you. Who would have predicted?
Should have had a shower then, Jack.
I did. That's why my hair's all fluky. And still partially wet.
Oh, that's water. I see.
Indeed. It could be sweat. It is warm in here. Also coming up on the channel, it's not part of our MCU week, but it is kind of because it's Wakanda Forever. We'll be reviewing that. I don't think we'll be doing the ranking and rating because we're going to do that again when we get to it.
Again, in context.
So we will be doing. Basically, if you've joined us to watch a new Marvel movie before, we're doing it again. Sorry. We will do them again as and when we get to them. Thankfully, the first one we ever did was Endgame, I'm pretty sure. Or was it Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel.
So still. We've got 11 years worth of movies before we get to the ones we've already done before. So we'll do that. And who knows if we do Ant-Man again. Seems unlikely that we'll do Guardians 2 again, considering that will come out... Guardians 3 again, sorry. Considering that will come out about 5 weeks before we finish.
At that point, we'll probably have caught up. Mm-hmm. And then can just add things on from there.
We won't have caught up.
By Guardians 3?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wakanda Forever will be on the 3rd of June.
Oh, okay.
I worked it out.
Okay, I'll rephrase. By a point, we will catch up and then start adding things on.
I think because Guardians comes out in May. I think at that point we can just slot it in.
Yeah.
I think.
Or to be fair though, by that, if Guardians comes out in May, it will hit Disney Plus in June. So it'll be about
a month.
April, May. Ha! Disney Plus in July. I'll shut my face.
We could also just wait and not do it and do it later.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we can't see it, obviously, and then preliminarily discuss. That's a horrible word. Preliminarily. I don't even know if it's true. True? Oh. And then next Saturday, we'll be back for Iron Man 2. Oh, this is another contender for 30, to be fair.
Oh, no, I don't think it's that low.
It's pretty low.
It's pretty low, but I don't think
I'd
it's
say
that
29, maybe.
low. It's nowhere near as bad as Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, but there is a big gap between the Incredible Hulk and every other movie.
Yeah.
To be fair, 'cause it will either be Iron Man 2 or Thor: The Dark World that sits at 29. So, I think. Who knows? I haven't watched this movie in a very long time, so I might watch it and be like, "Oh, actually, this is better." But it's got Mickey Rourke in it. Mickey Rourke? Is that his name?
Bring me the bird. I can't do his accent.
My bird.
Yeah.
Neither
can you.
My bird. No, neither can I. Well, the only thing I can say in that is that in that accent is television remote control. I don't know why, but that is the only thing I can say in that accent. And even then, not well. But anyway, we will be back in mere moments to talk about Average of War.
Bit harsh.
Okay, a rock. Oh, like Ragnar okay is what I could have said. That's much better, isn't it?
Because it's actually written.
Yeah, I know. Fuck it.